Welcome to the TLT Movement Podcast, a podcast for tomorrow's leaders today. In this episode, we have Miss Monica Esteban, right?
Monica Esteban.
Wow. Officially,
Yeah.
You're married to the infamous Denis Esteban, whom we have had on the show before and is a part of the TLT organization. And today, we're going to talk a little bit about how you guys met.
Anything challenging is going to be hard. But so what? Hard could be the new fun.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Who's going to carry the boats? Endeavor to persevere.
If you want to be a good leader, you have to understand human nature.
I never look back. It distracts from the now.
So, Monica, you volunteered as a mentor at TLT conference before. When was that?
That was 2019, I believe.
Okay. How did you find our organization?
So I actually knew Isaiah, Dr. Andrea, and Dr. Jeff's son from Christian Life Center.
Okay.
And I think he just said, one day, hey, you should meet my mom. And they always have like people over their house and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. I got in contact with Andrea. I think I went over his house. I met her, and we kind of just hit it off. And then she told me about TLT. She invited me to come to mentor, and I said, "All right, let's do it." Yeah.
How was your experience as a mentor?
So the first year, it was a new experience. It was something I've never experienced before. It was entirely different, and it was really impactful just to see the kids be so impacted by it. And as a mentor, I was extremely impacted by it as well.
From the program, not just seeing the kids' impact?
No, yeah, like I took home nuggets myself, and I saw a big impact in myself just, from all the things that the program goes over in just a short period of time. And so it was great. It was a really amazing experience, which is why I decided to go a second time.
Nice. So you went a second time, and your we've had many mentors come and go through the years, right? Volunteer, make an impact. But your story is very unique because the second time that you came, you met your husband.
I did, which is crazy to say it out loud, to think about, but I met my husband there, and I never thought that was where I was going to meet my husband, but it was really special. It was extremely special, actually, because the first time that I went, a lot of people don't know this, but the first time that I went, yes, I was a mentor, but I was I was dealing with some areas in my life where I was insecure. I had a lot of shame and guilt around being a single mother. I was a young single mother. I was, going through that journey alone, and it was hard. And I remember specifically in the TLT conference, I believe it was the Love,
Marriage and War show?
Love, Marriage, and War show, where Val and Isaac shared their testimony and their story about their marriage on the show. And I was just so full of shame for myself and my situation that I ran to the bathroom and I started crying because I felt I was never going to meet a husband or meet a man who was going to love me so much in the way that I saw Isaac talk about Val, and how much love that he showed for her. And I loved it. And I was like, that's the kind of marriage that I want. That's the kind of love that I want. And growing up I dabbled in relationships, and it was never good. They were never healthy relationships. They were very toxic relationships, and I was never valued. I was never respected, and so I felt that was just kind of,
The MO.
yeah.
If you don't mind, so we have a lot of young viewers that watch this show, teenagers and young adults that may be experiencing similar things. If you wouldn't mind, what is not being respected in a relationship? What does that look like?
Yeah. So,
What is not being valued by your partner? Like,
yeah. So I think, there's a lot, but I think like when a person, man or woman, they don't take like boundaries into consideration, your boundaries, when you say no. When you say no to something, or even if you feel like you're uncomfortable with things, that's a major
red flag.
red flag. Yeah. If they don't respect, if they don't respect that, accept that, if they get upset by that, if they're pushing you on to do things that you don't really want to do, like peer pressure, when you feel uncomfortable, those are definitely red flags. And just somebody who's going to like choose you. I feel like in today's day, there's a lot of options out there, especially with Instagram and social media. There's just a lot of options out there. And that's kind of the new thing is, I'm going to keep my options open. And
we're just talking.
We're talking.
Right.
And that, you should never be a second option. You should always be the first option and the only option. And there should always be a reason behind somebody wanting to further a relationship with you. It shouldn't just be for fun.
So the intentionality should be clear.
Yeah.
When you're getting into a relationship, and you should, it kind of falls on you too, as far as valuing yourself enough to understand that if somebody is deserving of your time and attention, that you should be the only one.
Yeah. And it does come with respecting yourself first. If you don't respect yourself, nobody will. And I had to learn that. And it kind of played into the reason why I kept going into these relationships, because I didn't respect myself. I didn't value myself. So I was giving away my time, and I was giving away, my person to whoever deemed themselves worthy, whoever said, hey, I want your time. I was like, okay, here you go. Here's my time. Here's my heart. And not everybody's worthy of your time. Not everybody's worthy of your heart. You have to guard your heart above all things and be wise with that. And so I do think that goes into it. You need to respect yourself, and you do have to have an intention behind why you're going into a relationship. Today's day, you see a lot of people just going into relationships left and right because they don't want to be alone.
Sure.
Or they want to have a cute Instagram relationship. They want to have a cute image, or prove themselves to other people. But there should be a deeper intention behind why you're seeking a relationship and what kind of relationship you're seeking out, and the person that you want a relationship with. Those things should all be accounted for, and there should be a very clear description of what it is you want and who it is you want to fulfill that role for in your relationships.
How did Denis, after you guys met at TLTCON, how did he pursue you in a way that you were like, this is my husband?
So what was it? First off, we met at TLT.
Where a lot of the tools are being taught.
Exactly. A lot of the tools are being taught. We're not meeting at the club. We're not meeting at the bar. We're meeting at a Christian. Well, not Christian, but we're meeting
God honoring.
God honoring. We're meeting at a God honoring conference, and I mean, what better place, you know?
Good point. Good point.
And so that was one. I was like, okay, this is a good place to meet my husband at. And then the other thing was he was very intentional with telling me straight off the bat, I'm looking for a wife. I'm not looking to play around. And that was one of the things in my relationships in the past that every man was very, what's the word? I guess ambiguous about.
Had a second option always, an exit kind of.
Yeah, just like maybe being, what's the word? Just like confusing. You know,
Okay.
You should never be
not straightforward.
Not straightforward. You should never be confused if somebody is trying to pursue you or not. And I feel like that's so common nowadays. Women, girls, and men, they're like, yeah, like what is even talking?
Right.
Right? Like
it's like we're talking right now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
Exactly.
It's like, what does that mean?
What does that even mean? Are you talking to multiple women? Are you talking to multiple men? Like, and we're so confused in today's like generation. And so that was one of the things. And I always felt so much anxiety about that whenever I was talking to like a potential partner or something, a guy. And I was like, well, I like him, but does he like me? I don't know. He's talking to me. He's texting me. He's saying, good morning, beautiful. But, you know, like where are we headed?
Right.
And Denis was very clear on what he wanted and where he was headed. He was looking for a wife. And he loved the Lord, which was my number one, check. And I mean, just all the right boxes were checked off. Like he and I, like both of our dreams and goals and ambitions lined up. Our visions for life lined up. He wanted to be a husband. I wanted to be a wife. And not only that, but he was extremely intentional. And he put his actions where his, what's the phrase?
Put his actions where his mouth was, I think would be the phrase, but that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. But his actions backed up his words. And so,
what a concept.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, but he said, hey, we should meet up. And I was in Texas and he was in Florida. This man not only met up with me, he flew half the country to Texas to meet up with me and to meet me in person and to get to know each other. Like, that's intentionality.
Wow.
That's really showing somebody that, I'm choosing this and I'm committed to this and this is what I want. And it just all stemmed from that.
Do you have any advice that you'd like to give to some young adults who maybe are pursuing or seeking marriage?
Yeah, I would say love is a choice. It's something that you should choose. I'm sorry. It's not something you should choose. It's something that you get to choose every single day. You have the option to choose that every single day. And if you're not intentional with choosing love every single day, then that's where people can fall out of love, or they mistakenly, get to that point of falling out of love. Because really in my opinion, I don't think you fall out of love. I think you just choose not to love. And so it takes a lot of effort and a lot of intention. And when things get tough, you got to make that choice.
Right.
And
it's hard work.
Choices that, that choice sometimes is not going to be easy to choose to keep loving somebody when you might want to strangle them or you might want to, walk away, because walking away is actually easier than staying when things get rough, when things get tough, when you guys have disagreements, when you guys aren't on good terms. The easiest thing, and that's, today's generation, is like that instant gratification of, you're not making me happy, so I'm out. You're not meeting my needs, so I'm
Been there.
yeah, so you're not meeting my needs, so I've got another I can find another option out there, or there's just so much that goes into it, and I think one of the biggest advice that I can give is, you constantly have to keep that choice on the forefront of your mind. Like, you chose this, and that's what commitment is choosing that every single day, is choosing that person every single day. That's what commitment is. That's what love is. Love is choosing to commit every single day, no matter what, through,
Well, it's a good thing hard is the new fun.
Exactly.
Because marriage is hard work. And I love what Andrea says. I don't know if she says this in TLT, but she's told me this personally. She goes, when you are meeting somebody that you think is a potential spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend, picture it like you're on a train and you're going to a destination. And if you stop off somewhere and somebody's going that same way, you guys can partner up and go that same way. And some people, they're around for reasons, for seasons, and for life. Some people, the next stop or two, they get off and they're not going the same way. And now you have to make the decision. Are you going to get off too and deviate from the original plan of where you're going to go with this person? Or are you going to continue on the path? And ideally, you find yourself a spouse that's going the same way as you. Like you said, as far as the vision paired up, and so that you two are able to become a team and help each other get to where you're going, not just conform to what maybe they want, and you feel like you're not getting. You feel like you're missing out on life, maybe. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know anything about this. I'm here to ask you questions. I'm no
expert. Okay.
Is anybody an expert?
Exactly. Yeah. The way my husband would say this, I don't know the exact words, but he says something along the lines like, when you're going to Target, for example, first you know where you're going, and when you invite somebody to come with you, that person should also know where they're going to. Like, hey, I also want to go to Target with you. But if they're going, if they don't need to go to Target, or if they need to go to Walmart, babe, I don't know. Forget that. Forget it.
They'll be.
Because I don't say it the same way as you. It sounds better when you say it. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, because, if you get in the car with somebody and you're expecting to go to Walmart and you go to Target, you might be disappointed. That's why it's good to talk about it. Figure out where you're going.
Before you get in the vehicle. So, yes, it's important to know where you're going before you get into the vehicle or the relationship.
I like that, like a ship.
Yeah.
But like a car.
Because if not, you guys are going to end up somewhere where you weren't planning on going in the first place.
Yeah. Love is complicated.
Love is very complicated.
But I'm proud of you guys. It's very special that you have found love through the TLT program.
Yeah.
And if you're looking to become a mentor and you're looking to find love, you might want to sign up now for the TLT mentorship.
You need love? We got you.
Come on down. You might just find it.
Yeah. No. But no, I will say that it's extremely special. It's a special story because the first time that I went there, I was full of, shame, and I was sad that, man, somebody who's never going to love me in this way. And the next time that I go to TLT, I meet my husband who checks off, you know, all the boxes and couldn't love me anymore.
And now you guys have a beautiful young baby girl.
That's right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And hopefully she'll one day come to TLTCON.
That's right.
She'll be a TLT too.
That's right.
That's going to be awesome, actually.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah. I'm excited.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Hopefully you guys gleaned some wisdom from this
Yeah.
and had a great time. I know I did. All right.